Looking at practicality, as the term would imply, everything that we do in Wing Chun has to have a positive outcome and effect. Most fights are going to happen at a close range where you can actually reach each other. If you're further out than that, effectively there's no fight unless there's a weapon involved. So when you're applying your self-defense movements, you don't want to have to cipher through a lot of predetermined movements to apply a defensive movement. For example, if somebody was throwing a punch at my face, I don't want to go through a process where I think, oh, there's a punch coming at my face now, I've got to try to do this out block and cipher through my record of self-defense techniques and find that movement. By the time my mind processes all that information, I've probably been hit. Now, reflexes can develop and you can apply those movements relatively quickly, but much simpler way to deal with that situation is simply occupying the space. So instead of the thought of, oh, I have to find this technique, all I have to think about when the punch is coming in is put something in the way. Now, as long as my arm moves towards the center line and I occupy this space, I can actually protect myself and in the same process continue through and strike. So what we're trying to do here is find a way that we can cut down our reaction time by cutting down the thought processes. Now, when we're shaping up with a person, as a punch is coming down the center line, the straight punch coming down the center is probably the hardest punch to stop. So we need to find a way that we can actually defend that without having to rely too much on reflexes. And this is where the Wing Chun guards occupying your center line becomes very, very handy. Because if my hands are set up here and he's trying to punch, he has to essentially come through my hands. So I can actually rely on my sense of touch more so than my sense of eyes, or sense of sight, to actually deal with his strike. So as the punch comes in, I feel it in my hand, and then I can turn it, obviously breaking it down there, they come a bit faster than I was hoping for at this point. But in application from here, as he comes forward, you can see that once he touches, I rotate my hand, and it's done at a faster motion. I've actually managed to redirect his strike and continue through to hit the person. Our aim is to complete the confrontation as quick as possible with as little fuss as possible. So make sure your movements are practical, don't require too many thoughts, and go straight to the center line.